Hello fellas, Frankie Day back again YouTube. This evening YouTube I have update number 3 on my pre-war service 1935-1941 group build. As taken from the last video that I've done on my Bolo bomber, I went ahead and I filled in the seams and gave a good wet and dry sanding. I removed the seams, I gave one coat of primer, and there's some more imperfections, so I had to go back over the imperfections again with some filler. So tomorrow I'll also go ahead and sand off the filler and give it one more last coat of primer, and she's good to go, and the rest of the construction will follow. And so far on my group build, we got some pretty interesting topics going on. We got Steve. He's got his Westland Wallace, I believe it is, Supermarine Wallace. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Supermarine Wallace shipboard flying boat, reconnaissance aircraft. And we have Mark Speedy 187. We got his. He's got a de Havilland Comet, which is a forerunner of either the Westland Whirlwind or the de Havilland Mosquito. It's one or two. I think it's the Wood Wanderer Mosquito bomber. And it came out back in the nifty 1930s, and actually it was used as a racing airplane. And the same thing with the R2, the Supermarine, before it developed into the Spitfire. And we got Panzer Bill. He's got a kit, an old Frog airline kit of the Baltimore, Maryland bomber, the Martin Baltimore or Martin Maryland. We called the Yanks called it the Baltimore, and the English called them the Maryland bombers. And they were. Actually, that aircraft was considered obsolete before its time, so we had no use for it. So the Lend-Lease program was getting started, so we gave the English a lot of them because they could have used them for the war effort, along with the Lockheed Hudson bombers. We gave them too, and also the A-26, which is a Boston bomber they used. And they're quite favorable for the British. They used them a lot. They made good use of them, a lot better use than what we did. And they served their purpose well for what they needed them for. The Bolo and the Maryland bomber, they're pretty much in ties with the U.S. Army Air Corps as aircraft that was obsolete for its time. And so we probably have a couple of other fellows diving in with their builds too. And it's going to be an interesting group build. And I'd like to thank everybody for your comments on my waffle for our brother Clint, the Mad Modeler. And thank you very much for the AC-119 Stinger flying boxcar I just done, builds of the past. I'll have another builds of the past tomorrow for you guys. Keep you guys on your toes. I got a load down below in my basement, tucked away in boxes. Excuse me, fellas. I mean the cough. I think I'm catching a cold or something. I'm feeling kind of down the weather a little bit, but I'll mend. Anyway, before you get along anymore, further ado and everything, I'd like to be able to show the update. Once again, use the webcam, fellas. This is going to be a fast update right here, what I'm doing, and so you get the basic idea of what I've done on my Bolo bomber. Here, fellas, I went ahead, after I sanded all this off here, the first time, it'll sand up. I just now freshly applied this again. In fact, I done it about 10 minutes ago. It's already dry, ready to sand, but I like to give it more time for it to cure a lot better so you can sand better. I have it all come off. After I sanded the filler off the winged roots, the fuselage halves, horizontal stabilizers and such, I went ahead and shot a coat of primer on it, and it showed a few blemishes. So when you're painting an all natural finished aluminum aircraft, it's best you can get all those blemishes off. You don't, because silver and gray and white are the only 3 colors in the world, and the color spectrum that'll show up imperfections just like that. And they will tell on you too if you don't fill your imperfections correctly. So anyway, I went ahead and refilled the joining halves in the fuselage, the wing roots, and go ahead and dry tomorrow and give it a final sanding, and then give it a final primer coat, and go ahead and finish up the construction and prepare for painting, for the final painting. It's a fast build, guys. This multimedia kit is it goes better pretty quick though, but the time is going to be spent on is going to be in the finishing of it. So I want to make this mirror finish and just right, and that's that. So I got the filler done all the way through here. There's the I put some mask tape on there. This is a clear. This is clear right here. This is where they get the 30 caliber machine gun in the gondola compartment. And once this thing is all painted, everything has to move the maskings off. You'll see the windows. It will be shown once when the model's all done. I haven't installed the tail wheel yet, fellas, because I'm afraid it'll bust it off. So I always put the undercarriage on last, and to prevent breakage. It won't give you much for the engine details, so we'll get a little closer to the engines here. They just give you an engine facing built-in firewall. The cylinders are pretty well pronounced in this model. They're pretty well detailed. It's even got some harnessing wiring ground from the spark plugs to the governor ring in the center of the engine itself. And the kit gives you a choice of the exhaust system, so I'm going to the early exhaust system they have, which fits right top of here. This is part of the exhaust system, and it wides off into the cowling. And that'll be down there. So I got the bombardiers, greenhouse assembly, and turret assembly all masked in. I got the pilot's compartment all masked. I got the dorsal turret all masked in. And these big large windows here, instead of these large windows right here, they're not going to be, I use the kits with acetates for that. I can install them by going through the dorsal turret opening. And you got these large viewing, these view panels on here what they use. Actually, they're just observation windows. And I use the kits also by installing it from the inside of the body neighbor's window. So I'll go ahead and let her dry overnight, fellas, and top side came out pretty good. I just went ahead and just did the whole thing over again to make quite certain it's filled up good. So on its last wet dry sand and last priming, it'll fill the bill for this. And the very last thing I'll do before I start painting is I got to mask that canopy down. It's got to be all masked down first. And when the canopy is glued to the fuselage adjacent to the top, it's got to be filled in. So I guess this will be the last filler I'll be using on the cockpit, on that part of the portion of the cockpit, the canopy. So that kind of concludes the update number 3 of my group build featuring my 1/72nd scale Bolo bomber. And also, let's keep my back, fellas. On the cowlings, they give you 2 different versions of the cowlings. These cowlings come in two pieces, 2 halves. You got a top section and a bottom section. And the kit gives you an option of either using the later style cowling or the early style cowling. So I elected to use the early style cowling, which matches the exhaust system as per plans. Bill's going pretty good, pretty happy. And while Bill, Panzerman Bill, he's got a pretty good start on his Maryland bomber. Those pilots look very sweet. And I know he likes his pilot. He does a very, very great job in those pilots right there. So I salute you, Mr. Bill. You do a good job in those pilots. This Bolo bomber don't come with no figures at all. So it is what it is with the kit. And I'm getting to like pilots also. And Warren, I haven't heard Warren for a while. I haven't. He's probably got his new bouncing baby boy. He's probably born by now, and he's doing daddy things right now. And eventually he'll get back on the tube and and celebrate with a good cigar like I got in my hand, and I was brand new bouncing baby boy, and back to the normal builds he does. So hang in there, Warren. It says we're clapping for you, buddy, you know, and bringing a brand new child in the world, you know, and that's a good thing. Lord knows I got a bunch. I believe I got at least, from 2 marriages I've had, I got 11 children, and probably about 30 grandkids. If I got a couple great grandkids coming along too, so I'm pretty well loaded up to the gunnels on that. And happy man. I got my kids, and that's the way to go. Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank everybody on here in this YouTube presentation. Try to keep everybody, so the next YouTube I'll do will be Builds of My Past. I got a special tweet for you guys tomorrow. I'll bring a card model in. You guys get a kick out of that. How about a nice 1/32 scale Vickers Wellington bomber? I got it hanging up there. I'll give it a good dusting, and I'll bring it down, and you'll like that. So that'll be another Builds of the Past. And I'll keep you guys on your toes. My builds a little bit. I'll break up their monotony a little bit, and I hope Clinton gets that Catalina going pretty good. So far, the hard part's over with that middle wing section. See, he's got it all squared away, which is good. He's learning. We all were learning all once upon a time. That's how you learn. Like I told him with the construction of that center wing, actually it's a learning curve, and something you can store for future use in case you want to get the kit like that again. So model building is almost like life in general. You know, the day you stop learning, the day you stop living, the day you stop learning building models, the day you don't build no more. So I guess life in general and also building models works hand in hand. I wouldn't have it any other way. Anyway, folks, I think I'll call off here a little bit. Did enough right here, so I'm trying to keep in tabs with my group build. And I'd like to see how Steve's doing with his Supermarine Wallace. Wallace, excuse me, guys. And Speedy, old Mark, he probably got that comment. Knowing him, that's why they call him Speedy. He gets them done real quick. Does a good job at it too. He does a hearty well done job on it. Okay, fellas, this is about it for the night. I'm getting a little tired. I sit back on YouTube and watch a couple science fiction movies and hit the fart sack and do it again tomorrow. And thank you for tuning in, boys. May God bless. Happy modeling. You get crazy glue in your fingers. Use nail polish remover and it comes off. You can't be good. Be careful. Anyway, guys, take care, fellas. We'll catch y'all next YouTube tomorrow on my Builds of the Past. Take care, boys. We'll see you, fellas. Bye now.